under Victoria's skin.
Yes.
You think about it. Most males that I know spend very little time in their body, right? And because I talk to a lot of guys.
So
right?
what women compared to women?
Oh,
So,
no. Men don't spend any time in their bodies at all, and they just want to get into her body. But they're not even in their own, damn it. So welcome to another exciting episode of the Philly Real Fun Show. My name is Mr. 2020, starting with irrelevance, apparently. But meanwhile.
Apparently.
Yes.
Yes.
So
Something
this
about
is
getting under your skin.
This is...
My skin. Yes.
Yeah. Can you imagine being her, living with me? All right, lab rat number 2. I love you, lab rat number 2.
I wonder why I went mental.
She's been a continuous science experiment for close to 15 years now.
It's amazing. Yes, and I'm still here.
All right. Oh, yeah,
well, he's still here.
I got to invite people. I get so wound up.
Okay, all right. So welcome to another exciting episode, Feel It Real Fun, live on the 28th of March, 2025.
Let's share it there.
And it is your manifesting questions answered live, but it's the power of ...
It's the power of personal and so much more. We've got a new program coming up in April.
So am I going to put the power of personal, or you want to put the power of ...
We'll find out what happens during the show. You know how that goes.
Yeah, because the power, different people put power. Wherever.
I've got the power.
The power of personal.
Yes. Oh, you haven't shared anything.
What's that bit?
I don't know.
You got scarred at some point.
Oh, no, that was from Lisa. Lisa scarred me years ago.
Oh.
So, remember a little tiny blonde girl? She was with Bill Hibbler, and she made these little tiny things.
The bamboo lady.
Yeah.
A
little tiny thing.
Oh, the one you gave me was gorgeous.
Yes.
Then on the bamboo,
Yes.
even, I think, or something.
And one of them had a clasp that was not hypoallergenic.
Oh,
and it literally burned into my flesh.
It's like with earrings. I actually can't wear.
By the way, none of this is irrelevant.
Earrings.
And by the way, you guys that are here, thanks for sharing this show. I'm going to share to a few. I see Luke is going to come, and Valerie's going to come. Galaxy, I love you.
Oh.
Let's do a 2-minute chat soon.
Hello,
It's
Anja.
been too long.
Yes.
And I'm going to share a few more. So you do the intro, Savage.
Well, I have been. So, yes.
You sure?
Well, I said it's the power of ... the power of personal, and it was what.
Well, I guess you
Meanwhile,
have been.
go to howtofeelitreal.com.
That's right. How to feel it real.
Yes. 7 free easy emails, lessons. Go there, do that. And if you want more, go to manifestingmasterycourse.com. 90-day lesson program. Oh, it's fabulous. You can send 20 updates.
By
get
the way,
his feedback.
we're pulling that in 2 months. It's going to be gone. So.
Really?
Yep, I'm done with it.
Whoa.
It's been the backbone of all we do for close to 15 years, and I'm just done with it. But stay tuned.
I'm sure lots of other people will sell it.
Well, I'm sure lots of other people are. Some have actually read it, right? They've sold it in video form, and they've read the lessons and claimed they're theirs. And I go, right, I still love you, but don't be addicted.
Do not do that.
Yeah, that is
especially
not
to
advisable.
20.
I will hunt you down.
But our most fabulous, unbelievable course is joinremarkable.com.
That is the rightness everyone said.
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
Meanwhile, shall we, Victoria? Let's start with the Neville Goddard quote.
Okay, cool.
So we're only 3 minutes and 56 seconds in.
Cool.
So somebody on the YouTubes always types in when we stop doing the...
Are they still doing that?
Yeah, they still do it. I love that. I appreciate that.
Okay.
But you don't know what you're not missing if you're not watching what you don't think's not important.
Yeah, exactly. And Neville says, the fact that it does not feel natural to you to be what you imagine yourself to be is the secret of your failure, regardless of your desire, regardless of how faithfully and intelligently you follow the law. If you do not feel natural about what you want to be, you will not be it. That's just giving me goosebumps. Maybe because I read it with the right paraphrasing, but it has.
Well, you know, Victoria's very good at paraphrasing.
Power. Yes.
Anyway.
Yes.
Cool. What a yummy quote.
Nice.
And that was inspired by all of you guys. In other words, I pseudo-randomly picked it, but when it hit me, it hit me.
Yeah, cool.
In other words, Siobhan, personal. Maureen, Beth, not like the
Rest.
summer. Let's do it.
Okay. So now we dive into our questions. So the first question
By the way,
today.
some people ask, what do you sit your coffee cup on when you're not drinking it? I sit it on a coaster. The Neville Goddard Prosperity Pack.
Proof
Look at
is here.
Right? Seriously. Like, can you see that?
Sort of.
Barely.
But
And
yeah,
the coffee
there
stain
is.
is wearing off.
Yeah, well, anyway.
Anyway. All right. Power phrasing.
Yes.
Chocolate.
Okay, so we'll start again. So the first question today is from Amy on Facebook. War with 3D reality.
Oh, yeah, baby.
And Amy asks, but how do I assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled when circumstances are so different?
How? All right, ready? So one of the things that I do when I get a comment, and a lot of people think, oh, well, yeah, whatever. I look you up. I look and see, have we had private messages? What have you posted before? Have you done manifestingmasterycourse.com? And Amy has the same last name as somebody else who also has two different first names, right? That, like, this was so complicated when they tried to do manifestingmasterycourse.com like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And I just go, oh, wow, right? The power of complications.
Maybe it was her twin sister.
Now, I don't know if this is Amy.
Yes.
Or if Amy's got a twin sister who's got two names or whatever. But we can make things infinitely complicated.
Yeah.
So what I request that everyone do that's watching this, give me a hashtag purple, please. Hashtag purple.
Hashtag.
Just do it.
Everyone
for me.
type in hashtag purple.
Now, if you're ambitious and you've got fast thumbs, how about hashtag imperial violet? Because that's my preferred. So
Is it such a colour?
Imperial violet.
Is that even a real colour?
Oh, but it sounds great, doesn't it? And since word
Sounds
says
like
power.
a Dulux paint colour, but or something. But yes.
Christina, I was just thinking about you this morning. Swear to God, I'm driving the motor car, and so let's do a 5 sometime, right? So how do you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled when circumstances are so different? Remember, circumstances are always a middle or an end, right? Your circumstances are always a middle or always an end. If they imply that your wish is fulfilled, in other words, I've got 2 circumstances called puppies. I've imagined being a happy, loving puppy dad. One of the puppies was eventful this morning and wouldn't get in the vehicle.
Oh, I know. It just
So he stayed home with Victoria. There he
Yes.
goes, right now. Hey, buddy. And the other one, like, just sooked the whole time.
Oh, did
he was so sad he wasn't with his brother. Right?
Oh, it's because they're so codependent now.
I actually crawled in the back of the car with him for a few minutes.
Good
right?
on you.
So here's the thing. How do I assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled when the circumstances are so different? I'm curious how you resist it. The only way you can resist it is if you're making all that minutia be what matters. Right? Now, years ago, I've shared this story before. Victoria and I went to this little tiny wine store run by a really whiny guy. And I couldn't stand him anymore, right? And he didn't even have a credit card processing machine.
Where was this?
This is in Montmorency.
Oh, I know the one.
And I left.
Yes.
Right?
Oh.
I said, right, yeah, Victoria, you look at shit, and I'll go get some money. Because this guy doesn't understand business. He wants to be paid in one way and one way only. It's like having a special person, right? So I leave.
Yeah.
The problem is, at the time, I'm imagining 3 things. Happy, loving teacher, happy, loving husband. Both of those, there's evidence in the material world. And the third one, not a fucking dog in my life.
Yeah.
And I walk around the corner to the ATM machine. And why you call it the ATM machine is beyond me. Gaza, thanks, buddy. And then, what do I see? There's a line. And the first thing I do is I lose my ever-loving mind as a happy, loving husband. Because I want to get back to her and rescue her from Mr. Captain Whiny, right? In the wine store.
Captain Whiny.
I can't make this shit up, right? And so what happens is in front of me is a chick with a wiener dog. And the next thing you know, I'm on the ground. Hello, wiener dog. I love you. You're like a dog. You're a wiener, right? And about 3 minutes go by, 4 minutes go by, and the line advances, and I'm crawling with the wiener dog. And around the corner comes Victoria. You coming back?
Did I buy one? I don't think I even
I
bought
don't
one.
think we ever went back.
No,
right? The guy was just
yeah.
wine.
Yeah, it's
So-
a pity because he had a great concept.
He had a
about
great concept,
wine
but
tastings and-
horrible execution, right? And so he was stuck in the middle, right? It's costing me 3% to get a $100 sale. Well, it
Yeah.
just cost you $100 not to get a $100 sale. right? When we get stuck on the middles, whether it be a special person or this is how I want it, if you want to get stuck in the how, how it always comes down to how is it going to happen? I don't see it happening. The world of 3D is an echo. The minutia is always the past. It is. It just is. By the time you experience it, it's past sense data. That doesn't mean you can't enjoy it. But as soon as you go, I don't see any evidence of anything changing, you're discarding the number one thing that Neville Goddard says in today's lecture. The fact that it does not feel natural. What feels unnatural for me, there's some things that just feel very unnatural to me. What feels unnatural for me now is eating carbohydrates and being fat. So I can't eat carbohydrates, and I am getting so super fit. Who complimented me today? Oh, the lady that had the dog. The dog's name was Steph and would run and run and run.
Steph.
Yes, we didn't know the dog's name. But the lady says to me, my God, you look great. I'm like, yes, I do. Thank you.
And it's lovely that it's like it's almost like they're surprised by it. Like what even their expectations were that you were going to just go downhill further and further.
Yeah. So I was
lovely.
I was heading to a destination.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then I decided not to ignore the physical facts. You don't ignore the bus and walk out in front of it.
No.
What I did was I experienced the past as the past. And I experienced the present as the present. In other words, I moved into the state of fighting fit and let that feel natural, an instant epiphany, instant change. Gorgeous. By the way, Amy, I don't know if you've done or not done manifestingmasterycourse.com. We've talked that you didn't get the free emails. Definitely get those. But more importantly, manifestingmasterycourse.com. If this is important to you, that first week, that first lesson will give you a game changer with all this. That's the girls giggled lesson.
Yeah.
So, hey, Penny, nice to see you too.
Oh, yeah. And that really reminds me of Neville's I Remember When, because, like, especially with the lady, for example, he remembered her as single. No, well, whichever way. Yeah, he remembered her as single by imagining her as married, remembering her as...
Yes.
However it went.
But there's a feeling of it in the past.
Yeah. And for your question, Amy, is when circumstances are so different, his narrative on that is perfect, because, like, here's a girl right now, circumstances are different, she's single, wanting to be married, but how you can use the I Remember When technique, well, you did it for your epiphany for your body.
Yes.
Yeah.
I stopped remembering when I was fit and started remembering when I was fat.
Yeah.
And by the way, it ain't the words, and we've got courses on this. We've got all sorts of ways you can explore this. And I suspect that if you go, radio, I want to know about I Remember When, and you go to the Reddits or you go to the Tic Tacs, right, you're going to get what you pay for.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Cool.
And what the hell? Join remarkable.com. Why? Because I like giving Victoria work to do. And she always puts the thing at the bottom, joinremarkable.com.
I do.
So let's keep going. We'll answer Amy's questions and the other questions as well.
Okay.
Which is what we do.
Yes.
And which sort of brings me to the 3 Eyes episode of the podcast. But maybe we'll get back to that. If not, go check out the podcast and peek at the 3 Eyes episode. It's the manifesting with your third eye. Oh,
and that's nevillegoddardpodcast.com, is it?
That's one place they can find it. Yes.
That's one place. Okay.
We don't call it that anymore. It's like there's 4 other people with Neville Goddard podcasts, and one of them is just Neville talking. That's groovy. The other 2 talk about vision boards and affirmations. And I just want to, like, lock and load.
Yeah, all right.
Somebody hashtag quell stance. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Facebook won't.
Don't
hashtag quell stance.
No.
Misspell it if you do.
Anyway. I thought that was our IP address, Neville Goddard.
No, we own that. Yeah, Neville Goddard podcast.
.com.
Yeah, but a couple other people are doing it for search terms, and they're teaching dumb shit.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I might as well say nevergoddardpodcast.com, but I digress.
Well, we were going to do that.
Yeah.
Never Goddard show.
Yeah, Never Goddard show. We still should.
We haven't done that yet.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
That would be good, actually, to bring up all the things that are very not Neville.
That's right.
Okay.
Anyway.
The next question is from Cortex on Facebook. Lose weight, gain health? ? And Cortex asks, how can a person lose weight and improve health with the law of assumption.
All right, Cortex, ready? Here's one of the things that I noticed. I'm that weird, obtuse NLP guru guy. That was a prior identity, and I had a lot of fun with that. But it still lurks under there, right? It's like one of the glasses that I look through. So I notice in the nature of your questions, you tend to ask questions like, how can a person? Your questions, the style that you write in,
how can I?
there's no ownership.
It's not personal.
There's no personal there.
There's no power
right?
of personal.
By the way, we've got a new course coming up in April, Power of Personal, right?
Yeah, right.
We still have to get the domain name for that, but don't go there yet. But anyway, so how does a person, how can a person, a permissive verb, a person lose weight and improve health with the law of assumption? Yet there's no personal there. You're not there, and you're asking about things called weight and health. And those are just universal problems, right? And so here's the key. And anybody that wants to dive deep into my psychology, my inner world, I'll send you a link to 12 recordings that'll blow your mind, right? Because I got real personal, right? Fighting fit fleshitarian. I love Kung Fu. I love martial arts. And when I could barely walk and needed a hip replacement, I mastered the art of one punch, one kill. In other words, stand there and smash something so it explodes. Right? I got good at it. Well, I did. I have to be honest. Right? My martial arts suffered, but I got really good at one punch, one kill. It's the philosophy of Shotokan and a few other things. And that doesn't fulfill me. What fulfills me is the magic of movement. And so when I moved into the state, and here's the key, right? I didn't decide it was time to lose weight.
Gain health.
And improve health with the law of assumption. I assumed the state of fighting fit, and that soon became fighting fit fleshitarian. I didn't know that last bit was going to tag on there at the time. But moving into the state of fighting fit gave me a way to see the world differently, right? Oh, I need to lose weight. That's making it about numbers, right? No, yeah, have fun with that. Get healthy. That's a concept. Everybody's got a concept of what health is, right? On the other hand, fighting fit fleshitarian, right? Hoo-ha. All right? I'm having a lot of fun. I could make it fun fighting fleshitarian as much as I love stuff like that. The galaxy, that's right, the magic of movement, right? And here's the thing. Fighting fit fleshitarian may or may not be you. It's me, through and through, right? And at the health food store, they were asking me about, how's the fleshitarian thing going? I said, look, I got the hats. Right, so we're going to use the hats to make prototypes of fleshitarian products just for fun, right? Because I'm a big fan of fun. Losing weight does not sound fun. Health does not sound like fun. It sounds like problem solving. Problems are universal. Desires are always personal.
Feels like something I've got to do. Like, just want to hold
I watch the people at the gym. Some of them are there. I'll talk to them and say, wow. I talk to them and I know why they struggle. Because they're there fighting a universal problem. Neville Goddard taught your desires are personal, and they all have their own plan and power of fulfillment. Right? The moment a desire is upon you. Oh, I didn't have a desire to lose weight, get healthy, right? Yeah, that's all conceptual. I'm inviting you to personal. So we got two things coming up: the power of personal course. More on that later. But what the hell? Join remarkable.com. Right? Yeah, just for fun. But I digress. Cortex, we will continue to answer yours and Amy's questions. Amy, have you noticed how we answered your question here too? All right. We really got to get personal, gang.
Cool. Thank you, Cortex, for your question.
That's right.
Excuse me.
That's right. I take that personal, like disrespectful.
Which bit?
Oh, you clear your voice while I'm just sitting here wiping my mouth, and it's just disrespectful. I take that personal.
It's not.
All right. Most people take the wrong thing personal. Oh, they called me the wrong pronoun. Yeah, really? Come on, right? Instead of taking dumb shit personal, right? Why don't you take your desires personal? Oh, but I digress.
Okay.
Anyway.
The next question is from Remarkable Anja, Neville and Death. And Anja, I was going to say Neville asks, Anja asks, what does Neville say about death and resurrection in a new adventure? And what's your take on it, 2020?
Cool. We don't die. The meat suit wears out. Protoplasm is just like the rest of the physical world. Here's the cool thing, right? We're going to go some big words. Somebody hashtag big words, right?
Everyone
Hashtag
type in hashtag big words.
right?
Yes.
You are the anti-entropic experience of the universe.
Anti-entropic.
Oh, watch her go. Wow.
I don't know that.
Yeah, the wheels on the bus went round and round.
What's anti-entropic?
Fantastic question, Victoria. I'm glad you asked.
Yes.
So entropy. Entropy basically means it's all winding down and becoming chaotic. Right? Yeah.
Decaying. Rotting.
Right?
Yes.
In other words, entropic means mother-in-law. Right? Number 2.
Is the reverse of that.
I am the anti-entropic experience of the universe. So are you. Right? I'm here to give life to dead states. I'm here to organize. Think about it, right? So you've got these little tiny things called cells, and inside the cells are these things called organelles. Oh, I love it. It's musical to me, right? And your cells make up organs, and your organs make up organ systems, and your organ systems make up an organism, right? You came here to be the anti-entropic experience of the universe. When I leave the meat suit, right, the organelles die in the cells, and the cells die.
Well, then
and then the organs
entropic,
die.
Doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. I've left the building, and the building falls apart.
Yeah.
Right? This is so cool because circumstance always follows. What's around you, stance the way you show up. Amy. Right? Cortex.
Yes.
The power of personal. Lose weight. Fuck me. Right? Sorry, gotta swear. but it's a horrible thing. Yep, I'm losing. I'm waiting. I'm losing and I'm waiting. I am full of hesitating. Right? Somebody hashtag 20 sings. He's in that mood.
Right.
He's only on 2 things of coffee today, too. Which is pretty.
Wow.
Or is it 3? Anyway. So,
Yes.
how can you? Here's the kindergarten reply.
How can you what?
How can a person lose weight and
No,
improve
we're
health?
up to Anja. Well, what does Neville say about death and resurrection?
We're getting back to Anja.
Oh,
right?
okay.
Yeah, how can I lose weight and all that bullshit?
Okay.
Imagine what it implies, right? Now let's talk about death and resurrection. Since we don't die, and odds are, unless we get really creative with a bus, right, one of us is going to check out first.
But our states can die. We can let the dead man, or how whatever that statement is. So and give life, resurrect
to a new state.
To a new state. Could be an old state that you're re-resurrecting, like whatever. Yes.
So I've become obsessed lately with cremains. Like tossing them up in the air. Poof, right?
We don't
Just
have
for
any
fun.
cremains here.
Not anymore. There's some in the garden.
Oh, Rocket.
Yeah,
is
Rocket.
in the garden.
We don't
My
have Dead
best
Jim.
friend's dog.
They wouldn't give us Dead Jim, but that's another story.
Yeah.
But at the same time, so your body's going to die, and you will live on. So imagine lovingly for them. What the hell, right? Wherever they are next, not your business. They may or may not pop in for you. That's always good fun. Me and Dr. Ken still have interesting giggles, right? You met Dr. Ken.
Yeah,
he was lovely.
He's gorgeous.
And so here's what's really, really cool. Like Victoria said, here's my thing, right? I wrote in the Remarkable chat this morning, to live as though your father were dead. When I can celebrate losing a mentor, right? I really get like I'm the next one to die.
And the chain.
Yeah, I might as well have some fun. Now, here's the thing. Can you let an old you die? Because one thing I can pretty much promise anyone is the way you react to death, yours or someone else's, is also how you're reacting to the death of a state that you've inhabited for a long time. And so, like, this is the way I am, 20. I can't change. Once an addict, always an addict, that kind of thing. And if we can go through the whole thing and go, righty-o, can I let that old me die? How do I react to death? By the way, I'm the weird guy in the room, right? When Dead Jim died, right? He wasn't Dead Jim at first, but when he became Dead Jim, this was during COVID, and I said, righty-o, hey, 20, will you speak at Jim's dead thing?
Okay, funeral.
Yeah,
yes.
and I went, oh, fuck me.
This was through COVID.
Yeah. This is like back in 2020. And so I'm like, righty-o. I don't know. All right, I really didn't want to, because I'm that guy. Right, I'm not good at Yeah, I mean, yeah, I know. Been there, done that, right? Like, Jim's, going someplace else going, right, having a good time. But finally I gave in and I went and I gave a little talk. And I see people, 2 weeks ago I ran into a fella and he recognized me from my little talk at Dead Jim's funeral.
Oh, cool.
And for me, this is just an interesting opportunity to notice, how do you hold on to the dead? You. How do you hold on to the dead? Them. Do I miss Dead Jim? Dead Jim, when my hip was totally screwed and they were all telling me I needed a hip replacement, we would walk across a little bridge and me and Dead Jim, who's now dead, would sit on a tree and we would talk. And everyone else would go keep walking. Dead Jim and I would walk 5 minutes and sit down because neither one of us could walk anymore. I'm sure Dead Jim's going, go 20, go.
Yeah.
So what did Neville say about it? What do I say about it? There's my nutshell. Here's another thing. Everybody should have a Kindle. And if you don't have a Kindle, get the Kindle app on your device. And on your device, pay $20 for the one of the big Neville Goddard collections. Because you can go in there and type in 1 or 2 words and it'll bring it up for you. And it's just sweet.
On every page. And
yeah,
stuff.
it'll show you every lecture where you use the word dead or Jim.
Or resurrection.
Or resurrection.
Yes. Yeah.
So let's go from there. I appreciate you bringing up exactly what you brought up, Victoria.
Oh, thank you.
Because it brings life to the show.
Oh. Wow.
All right, this is why we answer your manifesting questions live, not dead, because
It
what?
resurrects the show.
That's right, it does. Right?
Okay. Cool. Excellent. Good one, Anja. And you're here. I hope that was ace. I'm sure it was.
All right. Or she'll be here later.
She'll be here later.
If
No, she's here.
Is she here now?
I'm pretty sure she's here.
All right. Doobie
Right.
bop bop doo.
The next question is from Chirasree on Facebook. Money blocks.
Yes.
And Chirasree asks, I again hit a money block. Now it's getting funny, but I want to show up bigger, charge more, show up as an authority to talk to ready-to-buy clients. How do I show up from that consciousness and have the vigor and strength to activate it and merge to it in existence where 100,000 US comes easily and effortlessly from unexpected sources every month to my bank account?
Oh.
Wow.
Ready? We're going to have some fun. So we've got some cool money packs. I think you have some of those. But my latest revelation is money is speed. A lot of people say money is stuff. All right? So you guys that are into the 3 worlds thing of ours. Ready? Stuff is minutia. Speed is you. Right? And then you've got the space where the Prince of Peace reigns. So here's what happens. When we make from what I can tell is speed into stuff, it behaves like stuff does. There's not much movement. And what I notice with money is there's this thing called an economy. An economy is based on movement of money. Right? What's life? Movement. When I stop moving, when my little organelles stop moving, and my cells stop moving, and my organs stop moving, and my organ system stop moving, that's an indicator that 20 has left the building and he's going to go out to the garden.
He's checking out.
Right? Victoria's going to take him out and tell Timmy to beat him to the chipper. Right? I don't have any life insurance. Right? So it doesn't matter. Right? You just feed me to the chipper, man. Like, I don't care. So this whole thing, it's not personal enough. It's landing with a thud. With again, this is the way I read it. Where the hell is it?
Up here.
100K USD
Oh,
comes
no.
easily and effortlessly from unexpected sources every month. It sounds like a mantra.
Yeah.
I'm into movement. And here's the thing. You're always going to be spending money. You're always going to be receiving money. You can even play this game called having money.
And investing.
And you can be playing with investing.
Yeah.
Right? And this isn't just money. This is everything. So in your life, everywhere, you get to notice, and this is the little $7 money course we have. Well, we toss this into. It's $7 freaking dollars.
What's it called?
I don't know.
Right.
It's the little $7 money course. It's
Yes.
at NevilleGoddardStore.com.
Okay.
And I like exploring with us people. In the event you want to explore with us, All right, let's do a one-on-one. It's been a while. And by the way, you notice what I'm doing? Let's do a one-on-one. It's been a while. That's going to cost you some money. All right? Or is it an investment? Or does it invite you to notice, you know what? I'd like to do a one-on-one with 20. That would be personal and fun. All right? So the power of personal. If you want to speak from stage while making great money, imagine speaking from stage. And don't do it as a cause or a cure. Let's go real personal. If I'm nice to her now, hoping she'll be nice to me later, right? That doesn't feel good to me. And so anytime we bring middles in where we don't need them, I just want to be nice to her. When she's nice to me, I'm always grateful. And I'm grateful a lot. And it's not tit for tat. Victoria and I do not have much of a transactional relationship. We've got a relationship based on this thing called relating. So when I read this, it's sort of like the Forex traders that hate Forex trading. But it's my way out. No, it ain't. It's your way into hell. Your way out is you. And so let's go back to the basics. If you had cash flow, that was lovely. All right, let's just experience. I have cash flow that's lovely. And I want to speak from the stage. And I want to have chats with people. I opened up a new coaching slot at 6:30 in the morning on Fridays. It's still dark here. And whoever gets that slot gets to see me in my Hugh Hefner dressing gown, and this morning my BMW hat. My Mercedes hat, which I don't have on right now. But we've really got to explore the power of personal. When it's mostly about the money becomes a thing and so on. On the other hand, the experience of money is speed. If we didn't have money and you wanted to do a one-on-one with me, I'd say, right, Chirasree, I need 10 bags of Victoria coffee, the organic, the beans. They've all got to have a good date on them. If you can't get that, what I need is a petrol for my car.
So back to the barter system.
And we go back to barter. And what I read in your post, this is what I'm willing to trade. This is what I'm willing to barter. And what we get to do is to move into what am I willing to experience quickly. If I'm correct and money is speed, and this comes from personal experience on the inside and several thousand emails on the outside, with y'all being slow and careful and calculated. Having a calculator when it comes to money is good. She's a calculator. I'm an approximator. I just round things up to up and down to friendly numbers and multiply by other friendly numbers. She can multiply 9.9 times 9.9 in her head. I go 10 times 10 minus 10%. Right? Minus 1%, minus 10.
Anyway.
I have fun. But meanwhile, I see Joe Weldon's entered the building.
There's Bubby Mags at the door.
Hi, Bubby. Love you. All right.
Anyways, excellent.
Was that good?
I think so.
I think that was good. Chirasree. Yeah. All right. That's it. The power of personal. Let's keep going. I will answer Chirasree's question and so much more as we move into the remarkable Lisa Handlerock's questions.
Yes. So thank you, Chirasree. And the last question today is from our remarkable Lisa Ann LaRocque. Bummer of a birthmark to unrecognisable.
I got to stretch. So you talk. I stretch.
Okay. And Lisa.
Look at that.
Asks, hello, 20 and Victoria. In Neville's lecture, Sound Investments, he shares from a dream his wife had. And Neville goes on, you must stop spending your time, your thought, and your money. For everything in life must be an investment. I've noticed hypnotic-like trances that we can go about our days in believing we are destined to experience something unlovely because we are this or that. Just as Jimmy Fuller was completely persuaded that his skin colour would deny him access to his desire for wealth and success, we can be running a story of our own personal limitation. Changing our concept of self isn't about being opposite of what we once believed ourselves to be. Rather, it seems to be active, as in we are doing different things. Jimmy said he used the moment God's coin to invest through thoughtful imagining. And he says, Neville, quote, I am at home, about Jimmy, I'm at home, I'm in the office, but I'm only hearing good news. And seldom do I go to the office physically to do office work. So I'm behind the scenes only hearing good news. So I've completely forgotten the so-called pigment of skin. He let go of the story and became unrecognisable. Jimmy's attention and actions springing from his state of wealth and success, which he wore like a fragrant odour. Investing in imagining lovely outcomes. It seems what we think are our curses or bummer of a birthmark can be our entry point to remarkable transformation. Please share your insight. Thank you, Lisa.
All right.
Very cool.
So we can go for data or divinity. Data, middle-aged white guy. Here I am. Divinity, timeless. Right? Every color of the rainbow and so much more. Actually invisible. We can also, so I was on a one-on-one today, and this showed up. I haven't talked about this publicly. So Neville Goddard says free will ends. And you've got the free will to accept or reject any state. Beyond that, your state does everything. Right? Now, here's what's really, really fascinating. So from hanging out in like smoky, dark places with very fascinating, brilliant people, one of the questions or one of the philosophies or one of the angles of approach that I picked up years ago was it always begins before you think. It does. Right? Oh, listen to that. That was clever. Anyway, it always begins before you think. It does. And here's this is really important. You've got a choice. And you can choose to let yourself live according to the stories, or you can live from states. And free will ends when it comes to that point. Now, get the...
Can't some of those stories support the state, though, that you choose to be?
There's always stories that'll support or not support you.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
just because you said you can either choose to be the story or be the state or however you...
So what are you going to let run your life? Let's talk about the nature of story. By the way, if you find this interesting, join remarkable.com. Right? If you think you already know what we're doing, you don't. Right? There's no chance you do. And notice that comes from a state. And the story is, I already know all this. Right? If you did, you'd be dying to get in the door, right, and have some lovely chats. But I digress. So if you're story-oriented, a good story always has sequence, drama, and dilemma. Historically, stories were used to convey wisdom, and they still do. So anytime you listen to a story, you can't help but do two things. In NLP, we call it applying to self and applying to others. So I can listen to a story and go, oh, wow. All right, and get hypnotized by that story.
Yeah, I do that all the time.
You do that all. You're great at that.
Well, I'm just saying with apply to self. That's like if I'm reading a story. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Or I never do that.
But I know who does. Apply to other.
Right. Yeah.
You can't help it. That's the nature of human being. Right. On the other hand, the divine dance does something entirely different. So humans See, anybody mind if I go into history? Just for 2 minutes? Very much. We're early, right? So historically, humans were the weaklings, right? Way back in the old days, some critter got killed, and then the animal that killed it would eat the best bits, and then other animals would show up and eat what was left over, and eventually the humans would go out and lick the bones, right? Because we were weak. We don't have claws. We don't have body armor. And so we needed to do something called banding together and develop tools and systems and strategies. And that happened whenever communication showed up and storytelling. And so I could tell you a story about how I get top shelf meat at bottom shelf prices. And I do. After I entered the state of doing that again, because I wasn't in that state for years, now I go to the store and I see yummy lamb, right? $45 a kilo. The average meat that I eat, and you guys see my lunches, the average I pay for all the meat that I eat is $12.72 a kilo. Sometimes it's a little more, sometimes it's a little less. But what I eat tends to average out to about $12.72 a kilo, right? That's like $6 a pound. And look at what I eat, right? It ain't shit, right? It's good food. So, but there's stories I could share about that. And the number one story would have you learning about how to feel it real. I moved back into the state of the guy, you know what I do? I get top shelf at bottom shelf prices, right? I did it with my car, I do it with my meat, do it with all kinds of things. I just have fun doing it. Because before I had to live that way. And that was my war story. Instead, now it's just a teaching story that I can use to convey wisdom that your identity matters. Now here's the cool thing, ready? So humans, to survive and to get somewhere, they needed to have stories that they could convey quickly, that would convey wisdom, but it had to be shared in a way that captivated attention. So we had drama and dilemma. And you know what happened to Butch? Why he's not around the circle anymore?
Butch.
Yeah, Butch died, right? Yeah, if you start a story with, here's why Butch is dead, everyone pays attention, right? If you go, right, here's the 32 things you need to do to make a good spear, nobody cares. They're all zoned out, right? So story has its place in the epic experience of humanity. States, on the other hand, are how you experience as divinity. States are not sequential, and they do not have drama or dilemma. If you're experiencing sequence, drama, and dilemma, you're living from stories.
Yeah, right.
Right? If you're living from the power of personal, there can be a little bit of a story there, but the power of personal is an exponential experience. Who walks in the room? Who is speaking to you? It's so personal. And it goes back to this whole thing, you don't walk around saying I am statements. You realize, who am I in this moment? And this is that whole thing with the 3 worlds we've been exploring this year. Email me if you want details on that. But this is deep shit. Because as long as you are hypnotized by stories, here's who wants to know the number one horror story genre? Oh, fuck, I just said it. Okay, the number one people love or they hate horror stories. All right, by the way, I've got proof. You ready? It's called Apple News. 80% of it are horror stories. In other words, when you look at, life, going back to Anja, hey, I'm alive, I'm doing what I want, death, see ya next time, right? I'm out. Life and death is life and death, right? Yeah. Horror is living that life of being locked in the basement, looking out the window at the little girl on the swing. And we talked about this because we saw this in a TV show, and I went, that's most people's lives. They're in a basement, looking out a window at a little girl living life, or a little fella living life, and they think that something is holding them in there, and it's only them. They have building blocks. These are my foundational core concepts for living life, Mr. 2020. They're true. They've helped me to survive. You throw stones to kill shit, don't you? And those stones come back to get you, right? Now, here's the thing. That is how you build prison walls. I want you to question everything in a way that comes from love. We're moving into the Disciple of John in April, oddly enough, in Remarkable, joinremarkable.com. This is so important because when you start questioning the stories that you have standardized your life by, you can start exploring states that will give you everything that you want in life. But you can't get there if you've got a story that defends your humanity instead of living from states that invite the divine part of you to dance with the human part of you. In other words, you get to discover instead of define everything. And so when I look at all this, Jimmy Fuller was addicted to being a victim of his skin. Right? Neville, how do I change my skin color? Well, once a Negro, always a Negro. Right? Oh, how many people can I offend with that? Right? But let's really look at this. Do you really want to change your skin color, Jimmy? Or do you want to change who you're being and how you're seeing in the world? And then, you know what? Black, white, red. I've got Irish in my blood. And I've got Italians. Yeah, you know, both the Irish and Italians were considered worse than the blacks back in the old days, or down there with them. And again, you get them just pointing at the ridiculousness of humanity here, right? My mom's family, the Robbinses, they were actually Rabinos. They were from Italy. They changed their name to Robbins and asserted they were German, right? That way they wouldn't get picked on like the Italians did back in the old days, right? And the Irish side, well, we were always proud to be Irish, but we struggled like the Irish do. And that was my other grandma's side of the family, right? And you don't have to buy into those stories. You know what I am? I'm not Irish. I'm not Italian. I'm not black. I'm not white. I simply am. What am I choosing in this moment? God. I'm choosing the expansion and the experience of love. Is it a love story? Anybody ever see the movie Love Story?
Yeah.
Tragic.
Yeah.
Right? Let's just be, the magic ends, the tragic happens. When you're living by stories, you're always waiting for the good times to end. When you're living from states, you're discovering, Neville says, the moment the desire comes upon you, that's when you accept it in its fullness. What's that mean? It's got its own plan and power. You get to accept that too. So I don't got to push. I don't got to persist like most people say. I get to play my part. Keyword play. So when I look at all this, Jimmy learned how to play. He didn't go to war at being a black man. In other words, he stopped being a racist against himself. You realize I'm a 58-year-old man. I'll be 59 in a few days. I can go ageist in a heartbeat. Why would I? I'm getting old. Right? I can go ageist in a heartbeat against myself. Why would I? What Jimmy did, at first, revealed he was stuck in humanity. The rules of humanity. And here's the thing, and somebody hashtag this. You can live by the rules, or you can live by the law. And Jimmy wanted to change his skin color. He wanted to dishonor himself. And I consider that dishonorable. Because to make it about his skin color denies his divinity. On the other hand, if we're going to do what the first disciple does, honorable and dignified. What happens here? You know what, Neville? I discovered something. Being black, that ain't a curse. How many people could that give to? White, black, yellow, red, I don't care what your color is. Because the second I blame it on being white or 58, my game is over, my war begins. So, there's my thing. All right. Did I nail anything there?
Oh, yeah, lots of it. And what it was bizarre, because a lot of it was to do with the previous questions. Like you brought up speed, and like the three worlds and how, where money is for Chirasree,
Yep.
speed. And because that's in Lisa's question about rather it seems to be active. There was something else there as well for Cortex. But yeah, I think it's, that was ace, babe.
By the way, Lisa never sees the questions. Victoria sometimes peeks at them. And it's so delightful for me because Lisa's question shows up this morning and I think I wrote back to her, perfect. Perfect. And I hadn't even seen all your questions yet.
Yeah.
But I could feel it. Right? It's natural. All right. Victoria,
Yes, very cool. So, thank you, Lisa, for your question. And what we want to know is tell us, what was your hashtag strawberry bit?
Very good.
Was it?
Yeah.
It was all guesswork. I really liked how you said something about the expression and expansion of love. Like,
Yes.
you use that in Lisa's question about being in that state. You're like, well, I don't know. That's how you want to be.
Yes.
And I guess that if you're in that, or like the expression and expansion of love, it can't help but encapsulate, I don't think, humanity and divinity.
Yes. Nice.
So I really
Nicely
liked
put.
that. Yeah, that was mine. What was yours?
Before I get to mine, I'm writing 3 books.
You are.
Oh my God! And it's just, I'm losing sleep. I'm just having so much fun. If you want the first 2 chapters of one of them, drop me a note somewhere. I will gladly share it with you. I'm looking at these being in print sometime during my birth month, and working on an Audible release as well, as I explained to Tap.
Tip top, tap, tip type.
Steph.
Steph.
It's oh no. It's her name's Naomi. Naomi.
Oh, no.
No.
So it's not even
Naomi.
Steph.
No.
Oh.
Yeah, Steph is bebop-a-doo-bop. But they all get their own names with me. This is how we keep it
I
personal.
can't keep up.
So, but if you want this first 2 little micro chapters, they're really damn good, right? Really good, right? If you want them to correct my spelling, good luck, because I'm using Hemingway and some other things to check my spelling and so on, which is really sweet. So
Cool. So, yeah, if you want those, message 20.
yeah, somewhere, somehow.
And what was your hashtag strawberry bet from today's show?
So when I got Lisa's thing and I gave it a quick scan, it fit in perfectly with what I was working on this morning with the book projects tool. So your entire life can be a divine dance, or it can be endless vigilance and defense. And if you feel attacking and defending, if you feel sequence, drama, dilemma, right, I've got an alternative for you, and it's one you'd have to be crazy to take advantage of. We'll just leave it at that. So my strawberry bit, you guys, today, I'm just watching you all share so much. Tin, love you. What's natural for me, I'm going to go right to the beginning.
Yeah,
here.
that quote, because I was just reading it. Yeah.
When a state becomes so natural that you can't help but lay on the ground and crawl with a puppy. Right? I wasn't going to kidnap the lady's dog. Right? I wasn't doing it to make anything happen. As a happy, loving puppy dad, I found myself today, and I had no idea this was showing up on the show, I found myself laying with Bruce in the back seat because Emmett wasn't there. What's a happy, loving puppy dad do? Oh, buddy. Oh, I love you, my dad. How about a kiss? Can I really kiss you, Dad? Yes, okay. Right? And he kisses me, and I'll be back.
So he was crying in the car.
No, he wasn't crying. He was just depressed.
Oh.
You're just laying there like a lump. And it's like, like normally, Brucey, you can ask Uncle Joe. Brucey's going ape shit when people walk past the mobile house. And it's just like nothing.
Yeah.
There's nothing. Oh, it must be bad. Right? So my strawberry bit is you guys and how personal you let this stuff be. And here's a hint. Let it become more personal. We'll be exploring that in the course.
Yeah, so it starts in April. Birthday month for 20 years next month, April.
Yes.
And it's called The Power of Personal.
Yes, more on that later.
More on it later.
Email me or reach out to me personally if you want on the wait list. Because I'm probably going to restrict the numbers on this one because it's the first time running through. This is going to be more like a dream-driven day kind of thing. And we've got a really cool way for you to make this personal. Like, let me toss you something, right? So I'm talking to Sarah. So we did a quick one. And it was still dark when I got her to say more, please. And she was still in bed. And she said, I just finished my Jogos. Now, let's be honest. Oh, I love you, Luke. Are you really doing this shit? Or are you giving it lip service? Here's what lip service means. Oh, well, I got sidetracked. Oh, something important showed up. Oh, something else. Oh, well, I had to get up and do this. I don't leave the bed. I got out of bed 5:17, 5:18 today. I had a call at 6:30. Right? I knew it was after 5. And I laid there and did my Jogos the way that I teach them, the way that I know works. Because when you make problems personal, you kill all possibility. Oh, yeah, I would but this. Oh, I would but that. Right? In other words, we're taking that whole thing about non-negotiables up a couple levels. Right? By the way, one more. So I've got a mobile data plan on my phone. You've got a mobile data plan on your phone. We've got mobile data plans on 2 iPads.
3 iPads, I think.
No, just on 2.
Okay.
Used to be 3. And we canceled yours.
Oh. Did you?
No, I think you're well, anyway. I think yours has the chip now.
Okay.
But why do I spend all that money? Oh, why do I invest all that money? Thank you, Lisa. Because if the internet goes down here, right? Worst case scenario, I can walk out the door and let you all know.
To mobile, yeah.
Yeah. Best case scenario, if there's not much traffic, I get in the car and I drive 92 seconds, pull into a parking lot where I get faster download speeds because it's Australia, and I can do a call or a course or anything from that parking lot. Right? In other words, I imagine doing it. I don't imagine ever having excuses. I don't settle for excuses. I shoot from excellence. That's called personal. Excuses, everybody's got the same excuse. Too old, too fat, too white, too poor, too busy. Everyone has the same excuses. But what's your excellence? Now listen to Lisa's thing again. Love you. Victoria.
Cool.
You know what she is? She's the queen. She's Her Excellency to me. And you should see the garden, you guys that have been here a couple years ago.
Okay.
So, Victoria, let's tell them.
Meanwhile, go to joinremarkable.com.
That's right.
And
yeah, you can save 50%, right? Or not. Totally up to you. Joinremarkable.com. And all the goodies. Meanwhile.
For refunds, visit our YouTube channel, philitrealfun.com.
That's right.
Because I didn't know if you wanted to say anything else as far as...
No, not really.
Okay.
Luke says, Joseph Goddard to the max. You don't going to put this in. JosephGoddardToTheMax.com.
Yes.
Seriously, dude.
Yeah, good on you.
Seriously.
Luke.
Thanks, Luke.
Yeah.
All right. By the way, that's one of my measuring sticks. My first one is, hey, have you done the 7 lessons? Oh, a long time ago. Do you remember them? No. All right. Would you like to do them again? Oh, well, I'm pretty busy with my problems. Got it. My second one is, tell me about your Jogos. Oh, yeah. Yeah, like every morning, like I listen to good music. Radio. That's like drinking cat shit water to me.
Okay.
But anyway. Oh, look at her. Oh,
where is it? It's up there.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Victoria.
See you soon.
Love you, Victoria. Love you guys.
Love ya.
Let's push some buttons.